9 hidden signs that you are depressed. Depression is a very serious mental illness which are often unnoticed by its sufferer even for many years. Sometimes, people with depression are battling with demons within themselves on their own. They are struggling with negative feelings in their mind and have hard times to share their struggles because they don't want to burden other people around them. For some people, wounds are not something to share and open about. They decide to bottle things up and try to remedy their lives on their own. However, the depression is real and it affects many people's life from personal life to social life. Some depression left unnoticed, so many people who experience depression keep depression on their own without any help. It ends up getting worse and worse. Here are several hidden signs that you are depression. Find out the signs in this video. Probably you experience the signs and need the help. 1. Sleeping too much or too little. When you see someone who sleeps too much or too little, it could be the signs of depression. They might share about having no energy because of lately to bed. Also, they show the bags under eyes as the sign of sleep disturbance. Depression is clear as one of the major causes that interfere the sleeping habit. According to the research, depression can prevent people from falling asleep, staying asleep, or getting out of bed in the morning. People with depression commonly have more or less sleep than usual. 2. Changes in diet and weight fluctuations. The next obvious sign which shows that someone experiences depression is diet and weight fluctuations. Depression may cause change in appetite, according to an influx of the stress hormone cortisol in the system. Therefore, people with depression may have less desire to eat, even for tasty foods. They only taste it's tasteless. They aren't craving anything in particular. Meanwhile, in other cases, depression can manifest as craving foods that release feel-good neurotransmitters, especially foods in high sugar. The food will nudge their brain to produce serotonin, a happiness hormone. So to produce pleasant sensation, people with depression may eat more and more. The dietary changes will lead to weight gain or weight loss. Sometimes it is the fluctuations between these two. So when you notice that someone you know experienced this, it could be the hidden sign of depression. According to study in 2020 called as low-hanging fruit for getting back on your feet, have found that a diet that contains more fruit, vegetables, fatty fish, and whole grains, along with fewer sweets, processed foods, and fried foods, can help with depression. 3. Forcing a happy face. People with depression also often show up their happiness with bigger smile. However, in some cases, the bigger the smile, the bigger the depression they hide. This is a toxic positivity, an overly positive attitude, shown by cheerful posts in social media, or cheerful face in public. Those are to cover up what's really going on. Do you often find people with this attitude? They might dismiss their own sadness or change the subject. But as the result, they will be uncomfortable to express how they really feel, and they are in denial about their life and feeling. This is a dangerous hidden depression that many people experience. So if you know someone with this sign, spend more time with them a lot. It will be difficult for them to hold up the mask of happiness all the time, so they will show their real feeling eventually little glimpse to someone they trust. 4. Changes in language and topics of conversation. People with depression also usually changes in language and topics conversation. They usually use the word I instead of me. The use of self-focused word is aimed to introspect the state. They also often use the absolutist terms such as never and always. Depression also can distort thought patterns that will cause to the different worldview. People with depression tend to have more negative outlook and use phrases with pessimism such as I can't or I should. Moreover, you also will often hear phrases that express guilty, such as "it's all my fault." 5. Feeling less optimistic about life. According to research in 1979, scientists documented a peculiar phenomenon called depressed realism. According to the theory, people with depression have a more realistic view of the world and their role in it more than their non-depressed counterparts. People with hidden depression may come out in conversation in cynical comment regarding to reality. So you may often hear phrases like "it's not like any of this matters anyway, so who cares?" When you experience something bad and you deem it as insignificant or impermanent, or even assign positive meaning to the experience. It is also called as rose-colored glasses effect, usually found in some people who have optimistic illusions. The recent study has confirmed this theory, but still need additional research. However, if you know someone with sudden change in worldview, just spend time a lot with them because they might be struggling with depression. 6. Seeking love and acceptance. People with depression also seek love and acceptance from the world. They may not be dishonest, but will try to protect their hearts. They need more love and acceptance just like anyone else, and even always working to gain those more than others. 7. Thinking of the worst-case scenarios. People with high intelligence seems to be associates with depression. They have certain way to respond to situation, and sometimes becomes the good problem solvers for the most part. However, they also always tend to think of the worst-case scenarios when it comes to a new situation. 8. Muted cries. We all need help, and it's absolute. No one in this world that can truly live alone without anyone else. But people with depression don't expect other people to feel weak or be down on the dumps and feeling the same thing like what they feel. They also won't ask for help and cries. As the otherwise, they always will attempt to show you that they are independent and strong, no matter the problem is. But if you are really close to them, you will notice their cries sometime. Just help them by getting closer to them and make them trust you by filling the bond. 9. Changes in sex drive. People with depression also have extreme changes in sex drive. So when you feel that sex is not enjoyable anymore to do with your partner, it could be the hidden sign that you are depressed. However, sex drive depends on other factors such as frequent exhaustion, lack of interest, and low energy. But person with depression will find that even if they are really interested to their partner, or having full of rest at home, they don't get any sex drive, or the otherwise. Sometimes they also have relationship issues with their partner which adds strain to the situation. The hidden signs of depression are unnoticed. So if you or someone you care about is experiencing the signs mentioned previously, you need to get help from professional. Offer a helping hand to help someone you know recover for this mental health issue. So you will help making the world as the wonderful place.